Physics is the study of matter, energy, and how they interact, helping us understand the behavior of everything in the universe around us, from tiny atoms to massive galaxies. This channel will teach you the core principles that you need to know in order to score as high as possible in your exams. A unit is a measurement that describes the size or amount of something. You must always provide the unit so that people understand the scale of what is being measured. For example, if a tree has a height of 10 meters, the unit is meters. Without the unit, the number wouldn't mean anything, so we wouldn't know the actual height of the tree. It could be 10 millimeters or 10 kilometers tall, although that's highly unlikely. Other examples of units include kilograms for mass and seconds for time. In physics, SI units are used. SI stands for the International System of Units, and they are the units used by all physicists across the world. There are two types of SI units, SI base units and SI derived units. SI base units are the fundamental units that all other SI units are derived from. In total, there are 7 base units: the meter for length, the kilogram for mass, the second for time, the ampere for electrical current, the Kelvin for temperature, the mole for the amount of a substance, and finally the candela for light intensity. All of these units are based on constants of nature, such as the speed of light, making all measurements consistent across the world. SI-derived units are SI units that can be formed by combining the 7 base units in different ways. For example, the unit for speed is meters per second, which is formed by dividing meters by seconds, and the unit for force is newtons, which is formed by multiplying kilograms by meters per second squared. Other common derived units that you'll come across include joules for energy, watts for power, liters for volume, pascals for pressure, and finally hertz for frequency. If you are dealing with very large or very small measurements, it is best to add a prefix before the unit to make the number easier to read and use. A prefix is a small part added to the front of a unit that changes its size by a certain factor. For example, 1 kilogram is 1000 grams, and 1 milliamp is 1 times 10 to the power of minus 3 amps. Here are all the prefixes that you need to know for your exams. Let's start with the prefixes that represent large numbers. The prefix kilo means the unit is times 10 to the power of 3, or 1000 times bigger than the original unit. The prefix mega means the unit is times 10 to the power of 6, or 1,000,000 times bigger than the original unit. The prefix giga means the unit is times 10 to the power of 9, or 1,000,000,000 times bigger than the original unit. Finally, the prefix tera means the unit is times 10 to the power of 12, or 1,000,000,000,000 times bigger than the original unit. You might also come across the prefix deca, meaning 10 times bigger, or the prefix hecto, meaning 100 times bigger. However, these aren't used as often, so I wouldn't worry about them too much. Now let's look at the prefixes that represent small numbers. The prefix milli means the unit is times 10 to the power of minus 3, or 1000 times smaller than the original unit. The prefix micro means the unit is times 10 to the power of minus 6, or 1,000,000 times smaller than the original unit. Finally, the prefix nano means the unit is times 10 to the power of minus 9, or 1,000,000,000 times smaller than the original unit. You might also come across the prefix deci, meaning 10 times smaller, or the prefix centi, meaning 100 times smaller, but you will probably only use them when dealing with length, as in centimeters, or when dealing with volume, as in decimeters cubed. The final thing you need to know about units is how to convert between big and small units. To convert a bigger unit into a smaller unit, multiply by the correct power of 10. For example, to convert 300 megawatts into watts, multiply 300 by 10 to the power of 6 to get 300 million watts. Here's another example. To convert 12 kilometers into meters, multiply 12 by 10 to the power of 3 to get 12,000 meters. To convert a smaller unit into a bigger unit, divide by the correct power of 10. For example, to convert 80 billion nanonewtons into newtons, divide by 10 to the power of 9 to get an answer of 80 newtons. Here's another example. To convert 6,200 milliliters into liters, divide by 10 to the power of 3 to get 6.2 liters. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, just write them down in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.